Uwu, yes, Uwu indeed. All right, now let me look into this game, Quinfall, that I've never heard of. Quinfall.
Welcome to the realm of Quinfall, adventurer on a trail to the past.
Yeah, I don't think Tarkov's working. Shame.
Lands
Shame.
of Quinfall feature a variety of landforms, mountains, lakes, and rivers that are shaped according to their respective biomes and climates. The local flora also corresponds to the biome. Cities are strategically spread across cliffs, shores, mountains, and even underground
Cities.
in a vast 2016 square kilometre land. In this world, seasons and weather conditions like rain and snow interact with your character as well as
Looks
objects.
good. Looks good.
Plants and some animals may decline in number in certain climates.
Plants and some animals.
Some areas may be subjected to floods, and some may surface as a result of drafts. All of these are some of the elements that make up Quinfall's alive and dynamic world.
Alive and dynamic world.
Those who find themselves in Quinfall will not encounter a classic MMORPG experience. In Quinfall, you can visit shops and taverns run by other players, play board games
What?
or mini games with others, and even make your own music. Keep in mind that your character is part of a living, breathing world. You may not find smiths and other merchants at certain points in time. To learn more about the world, listen carefully to NPCs. Every piece of information you gather and every area or dungeon you visit will broaden your knowledge, allowing you to uncover Quinfall's mysteries and hidden areas. You may need to find secret passages, solve puzzles, and decipher codes in order to discover some areas. Do not forget that there are various stories and adventures waiting to be uncovered. Some of these puzzles will help you to solve the mystery of Quinfall. In Quinfall, you can shape your character in any way you want. There are over 100 details you can change in the face alone. You are able to create a unique character with details like skin color, hair, eyes, and body shape, while tattoos and accessories allow further customization. This world offers you 11 different improvable professions inspired by the Middle Ages. You can hunt for treasures in secret areas, dungeons, open fields, and underwater to find valuable items. You can plant seeds according to landforms and climate and harvest them for farming. If you don't have enough time, you can employ workers or real players and take time off to discover Quinfall. All professions are related to one another. Cooking allows one to create meals and desserts that give special powers in different fields. With chemistry, you can obtain formulas and create powerful potions that heal your character or your friends. You can fish in lakes, rivers, and seas for various species. Some animals in different biomes can be tamed for the production of certain materials with the husbandry profession. You can also extract different resources from trees, plants, and ores in various areas. This allows you to level up your profession level. Keep in mind that every item you gather is extremely vital for your survival and progress. If you wish, you can choose to develop your hunting profession by hunting animals.
So the best way to go into an MMO, in my opinion, if you're not just, going in solo dolo or whatever, to have if you want a hardcore play or whatever, best way to get the grind going, to have a group of friends enough that you can enter any maximum amount of player dungeon with everybody friends or whatever, have your own raid party or whatever. All right, you all go into the game and you're grinding out your classes and characters, whatever, your combat, you're maxing out and stuff. You have your main battle squad that does that, and then you have your other group of friends, your gatherers, your cooks, your potions. You have that squad, and they focus on the crafting aspect of things, right? And once you get to the in-game stuff, when you need all that gear, like all the food and potions and buffs and stuff, you get that from the gatherers. They just give it to you. You get that from the gatherers. And once you complete all that in-game content, then you go and you help the gatherers that gave you all this stuff, and you get them through the content. And they have all that. You speed them through because you already know the fights. You know what to do. You have all the high level gear, so they'll have a easy breezy time, and you get them geared up. That's the best way to go into an MMO, hands down. Because then you don't have to split your attention on gathering and getting materials while you're also trying to grind and level up to just get to end game and beat everybody there. That's the best way to do it.
Caravan and merchant mounts can also be tamed and upgraded, which allows you to deliver goods faster and trade efficiently. Each mount provides different advantages in different areas. In a 2016 square kilometer land, improving your riding mount will grant you much useful speed. To obtain new mounts, You can tame wild animals, breed existing ones, or buy from stables.
The fuck, this looks kind of
The
good.
story of Quinfall allows you to use items that originate from different ages or ancient times, and even travel in time. You can establish your home in certain areas and decorate it with hundreds of objects.
Shit, this game comes out on the 30th.
Quinfall's seas are as lively as its lands. You can build a ship yourself or with your friends to sail out to sea where adventure is waiting for you. Sailing allows you to explore new islands and areas, while you must struggle against winds, weather conditions, and giant waves that come your way. Nature is not the only thing you must battle, as you can encounter pirates, other players, and even mystical sea monsters.
The longer this Quinfall video went on, the more outlandish and ambitious the game appears to be. Let's start by summarising everything. So, the game's been in development for 2 years. It's made in Unity by a dev team from Turkey with between 50 to 200 employees, and the game plans on releasing on Steam in 2023 and hasn't asked for any money yet. The land size is 2,016 kilometers squared and contains 5 distinct biomes: snowy mountains, forests, deserts, marshlands and plains. Each of these biomes have their own weather, seasons and day-night cycle, as well as capital cities. Seasons affect gameplay with floods, snow, ice and droughts. Seasons also affect plants and animals. This is a sandbox MMORPG and also has player-run taverns and shops. You can go into the taverns and play board games with other players and make your own music. NPCs will not be at static locations and may roam around. The game has climbing mechanics and you can jump from ledge to ledge, climb rope, climb ladders and so on. The game uses an action combat system with flashy spell effects and traditional fantasy monsters such as dragons, in-depth character customization. The game has hidden areas and mysteries unlocked via exploration and puzzle solving. There's also hidden treasure chests throughout the world or underwater. The game has a caravan system that's basically the same as Ashes of Creation. In certain areas of the world, you can build your own real space player housing. The building system looks kinda similar to how it snaps together in most survival games. Every guild can apparently have their own guild island that they can build together. The game will have a channel system similar to games like Black Desert Online. You can avoid PvP by playing on a PvE channel. The game has 9 different weapon systems, 11 different medieval professions, some of which include cooking, alchemy, animal husbandry, fishing, woodcutting, gathering, mining, hunting and farming. You can make your own farm in the world and hire NPCs or other players to deal with your crops. There's some kind of Witcher vision that shows gatherable resources in the world. Each mount has different pros and cons. You can upgrade your mount to make it faster, and to get new mounts you either tame wild animals or breed existing mounts together. The game will apparently have castle siege wars and guild wars, where guilds can fight to own cities. If all of that wasn't ambitious enough, bear with me here. The story of the game allows you to time travel and experience things from different ages. The game has airships, steam engines, minecarts, and giant mech robots. The game will also have the entire arcade sailing system, where you can build giant galleons, become a pirate with open world PvP on the seas. The ocean has wave physics, storm effects, as well as giant sea monsters like the Kraken. Oh, and on top of all of that, the game even lists good optimization as a feature on Steam. Oh, and apparently it's also going to be buy to play, no pay to win on the cash shop, and RNG won't be tied to progression. It's been a long time since we've had a new game announced that was literally promising the world. But when I saw that trailer and it got to the part about airships, time travel, steam engines, giant mechs, and the naval content, My reaction was pure skepticism, followed by confusion when I saw that the studio's only been around for 2 years, they're not currently asking for any money, and they think that this game will be ready for release this year. There's no way. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love for this game to actually exist and be good, but the average MMO takes at least 5 years to develop. The really ambitious ones are 7 to 8 years and more. How's this random Turkish developer gonna finish a full MMORPG that has everything everyone's ever wanted within the span of 3 years? It's surely not possible. The optimization part on Steam
people.
also gave me a chuckle, because if the game's only been in development for 2 years and it's never had any beta tests, how can they possibly say, get ready for a hyper-realistic world with advanced graphics and state-of-the-art systems. Get optimal performance on every system with unprecedented high-level optimization. Enjoy smooth gameplay even in high player counts and crowded environments. They've basically copied half of the features from Ashes of Creation, added even more ambitious aspects to it, then expect everyone to believe it's possible to get finished within 3 years of the studio being founded. I mean, sure, they're not asking for money, so it's definitely going to be an interesting project to follow, and more MMOs in development is always a good thing, but there's no way I'm having any kind of expectations for this game until I've played it. To be fair though, I thought the trailer was an absolute banger. It did show off a lot of gameplay, and if we saw this trailer 7 years ago, before Chronicles of Valyria, before Ashes of Creation, and before indie MMOs in general were viewed with such high skepticism, we'd all be foaming at the mouth, all aboard the hype train for Quinfall. So best of luck to the devs. I'm skeptical, but excited to follow the project.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments below what you think of the Quinfall. Is this game raising any red flags for you? Or are you like me in being confused as hell at how this game is being funded, how it's supposed to be releasing in 2023, and how it's going to implement half of its intended features? Hit that like button for the algorithm gods, social media on screen. Thanks for watching.
Will it be good? Oh, I don't know. That would be dope, but this would be dope. This would be dope if it wasn't. I don't know. Could be bait. Could be bait. Could be bait. Let's see.
Welcome to the realm of...
We just watch this. Okay, let's take a look here. Understanding classes and weapons in Quinfall. Ugh. Okay. Dual axes. Dual axe class is made up of warriors who can expertly wield 2 great axes. This class is known for their ability to deliver powerful, crushing physical attacks and can overwhelm their enemies with devastating blows. I do love dual wielding great swords. Axes aren't my favorite weapon, but kind of cool. Subclass, Bloodmaster. Bloodmasters represent a subclass of the dual axe class. These warriors use their axe to inflict wounds and bleeding effects on their enemies. Bloodmasters bleed their enemies, weakening them over time and causing them to bleed to death. Dope. Stormblade. Stormblade represents another subclass of the dual axe class. These warriors use their great axe to deliver powerful and swift attacks. Stormblades deliver swift and devastating blows to their enemies and charge into the center of battle. Okay. It's kind of cool. Double axe class includes two subclasses that focus on different abilities. Bloodmasters inflict wounds and bleeding effects on their enemies, while Berserk Storm axe are effective against their foes and powerful and fast attacks. Powerful. As with any class, this class lends itself to mixed builds. Dagger. The dagger class is made up of warriors who skillfully wield fast and sharp daggers. This class is known for their ability to deliver swift and devastating physical attacks and can quickly overwhelm their enemies. Subclass Deathblade. Sounded a whole lot like Lost Ark. The Deathblade represents a subclass of dagger class. These warriors wield their daggers quickly and deliver swift blows to their enemies. Deathblade deal fast and sustained damage to their enemies, and their speed gives them an advantage. Subclass Shadow Walker. Or Shadow Stalker. Shadow Hunters represent another subclass of the dagger class. These warriors use their daggers to inject poison into their enemies, rendering them invisible until they are destroyed. Shadow Hunters poison their enemies and attack with stealthy strides, delivering sharp blows from behind their foes. The dagger class includes two subclasses that focus on different abilities. The Deathblade knocks down enemies with swift attacks, while the Shadow Stalker uses poison to damage enemies and exploit stealth. Okay. Warhammer. Subclass Strengthener. Strengthener represents a subclass of the Warhammer class. These warriors use their magic to strengthen and support their teammates. Strengthener improve the team's performance and enhance their defense and offensive capabilities. Okay, support buff class. Support buff. Kind of like Paladin-ish a little bit. Subclass Slow Devastator. I'm guessing this is a what's the opposite of buff? Like there's another word other than nerf. Debuff. Like a debuffing class. Slow Devastators represent another subclass of the Warhammer class. These warriors use their large warhammers to deliver slow but devastating physical blows. Slow Devastators deal high damage to enemies, but their attacks are slower and their strikes more effective. Oh, so they're just like a slow, thick DPS kind of. The Warhammer class includes two subclasses that focus on different abilities, Strengthener and supports teammates, while Slow Devastators are effective against enemies with slow but powerful physical strikes. Like any class that's suitable for mixed builds. Staff. Okay. The Staff class is made up of warriors who are skillful wielders of magic staffs. With their magical abilities, this class can cast a variety of spells and perform both offensive and support roles in battle. Subclass Frost Mage. Frost Mages represent a subclass of the staff. These warriors use their staffs to master ice spells, slowing and freezing their enemies with freezing spells. Fire Mage. Fire Mages represent another subclass of the staff class. These warriors use their staffs to master their flaming spells and unleash magical fire attacks on their enemies. Flame Mages inflict great damage by dealing area damage to enemies. I'm guessing like the Frost Mage is more of the like supportive role, because that's typically how it is. Frost is usually more on the supportive side, whereas fire is like devastating and damage and shit. Huh. Okay. The staff class includes 2 subclasses that have magical abilities and focus on different types of magic. The ice mage slows and freezes enemies, while the flame mage attacks enemies with magical fire. Suitable for mixed structure like every class. Mixed structure. Doesn't say mixed builds, it says mixed structure here. Interesting. I'm not getting an idea of which class I would go so far. Probably right now, if I had to choose between the current ones out, probably Fire Mage. But let's see. Life Staff. Here comes the healer, boys. For all you healer creeps out there, all you healer juicers, supports, this is it. The Life Staff, or the Staff of Life class, is made up of warriors who can skillfully wield large and powerful staffs of life. This class is known for their ability to heal their allies and gain control over life energy. Heal their allies and gain control over life energy. Gain control over life energy. Okay. Subclass Healer. Healers represent a subclass of Staff of Life class. These warriors use their staffs of life to heal their teammates and keep them alive in battle. Healers are tasked with maintaining and revitalizing the team's health. Subclass Magic Warden. Magic Wardens are subclasses of the Staff of Life class and possess magical abilities using their staffs of life. These warriors use their staffs of life to both use magical attacks on their enemies and weaken them with debuffs. Magic Wardens both damage their enemies in battle and strengthen their team's defenses. Like all classes, it lends itself to mixed builds. All right, so obviously this again, I still don't know like so much information about this game, but I'm already starting to theorize classes and builds and team compositions. I would love to know how many like people you have in like raids and stuff. I mean, in the video, it looked like they have big world bosses and stuff, but I wonder what like the number for like just group raids, instances, and stuff is gonna be interesting. Devise a party between these classes so far. Crossbow subclass Sharpshooters. Sharpshooters represent a subclass of the crossbow class. These warriors use their crossbow skills to snipe from a distance, dealing high damage to their enemies. Sharpshooters are recognized as expert marksmen, neutralizing enemies from a distance. Okay. The sniper of the group. Okay. Kind of sounds like yeah, we'll see. Like that heavy artillery backline. Just shoot and snipe. Whereas the Assault Master, subclass Assault Master. Assault Masters are a subclass of the crossbow class and are fast and effective shots. Yeah. These warriors rapidly fire crossbows, dealing rapid damage to their enemies. Assault Masters focus on fast-paced nature of combat and respond quickly to their enemies. Yeah, so they're going to be dodging, jumping, flying around and shit, whereas as the sharpshooters are going to be in the back, chilling, just hulking down big damage and shit. Both subclasses represent different aspects of the crossbow class and provide players with options to suit different playstyles. Sharpshooters take sharp aim from a distance, while Assault Masters use rapid fire to damage their enemies quickly and effectively. Okay. Assault Master sounds like your typical like rogue ranger, whereas Sharpshooter's more like, sniper rifle style. Pretty dope. Long sword. Okay. If there's any type of sword I like, it's a long one. The longsword class is made up of warriors skillfully wielding large and heavy longswords. This class is known for their ability to deliver powerful crushing attacks and can overwhelm their enemies with devastating blows. Subclass Strong Sword. Okay, the names of the classes and the subclasses aren't very unique, but that's okay. It mostly depends on how they play. They don't have to be too unique. But it's like interesting because you'll have like, oh, longsword, like that's the name of the class, just longsword, right? Basic as shit, and then you have fucking Deathblade and Shadow Stalker or whatever, which is like more unique. So kind of interesting, but a little unbalanced with the name, but that's okay. Um, and some of the like they have definitions for like the class and then the subclasses. Some of them just don't just have for the subclasses. Strong sword. Strong swords represent a subclass of the longsword class. They strike slowly and sharply, dealing high damage to their enemies. Strong sword have the ability to wield a sword with two hands and combine skill and strength in their attacks. Okay. 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 Like the whatever that I forgot the class name in Terra. Fucking souls or something. I don't fucking remember. They hold. They got the Slayer. That's what it was. Slayer. Kind of like a Slayer class. What it sounded like. It sounded like basic stuff. Okay. Subclass Devastator. The Devastator are a subclass of the longsword class and deal great devastating blows in battle. These warriors use their great longswords to deal damage. Their great longswords to damage their enemies with stunning and devastating attacks. The Devastator are particularly effective against vulnerable targets. So it sounds like they do a little bit of debuffing, and then sounds like their playstyle is like you debuff and then you do like your big damage combo or whatever, and then you just rinse and repeat. Where strong sword, you just kind of hit. Probably go Devastator would probably work well with the staff class, the subclass that does the debuffing or whatever, which was Magic Warden. Probably work well together. Like all characters, it's suitable for mixed construction. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if like so the subclasses, I wonder if their weapons are different or if and like their armor and stuff, or if it's like kind of they're the exact same but just different abilities. Wonder. Like, is the Devastator's sword bigger than the strong swords, or they? I'm guessing it's like all the same equipment. So like, if you get a sword, a drop from like a boss or something, that's for the longsword class for both of them. That's what I'm assuming. But I don't know. Interesting. Spear, another basic ass name, and then an even basicer. That's not a word. Subclass Lancer. Spearmen or Lancers are a subclass of the Spear class. Oh, would have never guessed. These warriors use long spears skillfully to strike effectively against their enemies. Lancers neutralize enemies with piercing attacks and resist their attacks while taking the lead in battle. In battle. So tanks, nice. Also like the Lancer class in Terra, where it's like a Lancer, but also tank class. But it doesn't. It sounds like they don't have shields or anything. Whereas in Terra, they have the shields. Okay. Subclass Valkyrie. Valkyries are a subclass of the Spear class, known for both offense and support in battle. What's up, Janky Gaming? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. They're skillful wielders of long spears and have the ability to disable their enemies. Valkyries deal high damage against their enemies while also assisting themselves or their allies by keeping enemies at bay. Crowd control. Okay. Sounds like sounds like crowd control support. Somewhat got lots of stuns and pushbacks and shit like that. Interesting. Interesting. So the Lancer's more of the tank. The Valkyrie's more damage support. So in general, the Spear class is more of like a support or tank class. Kind of cool. I like it. I like it. Probably going to see a lot of. I mean, you're definitely going to see a lot of Lancers running around. So far it's like the main, like, okay, I'm the tank of this bitch. I'm the leader. You know what I'm saying? Watching anime with your hamster. Nice, nice. Hope you're having fun. What anime you watching? Both subclasses represent different aspects of the spear class, giving players options to suit different playstyles. Spearmen drive forward against their enemies with fast, deadly attacks, while Valkyries combine both attack and support roles. Like all characters, they're suitable for mixed builds. So the mixed builds things, I wonder if it's just like you could straight up just pick whatever from both classes. I wonder if it's going to be like if you lean into one class, you get more powerful attacks over time. But if you decide to lean into like both, it kind of you get like weaker attacks but more customization. Kind of. I wonder if that's how it's going to be, or if you could just straight up like, okay, I want this ability from this class and this ability from this class. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. All right, bow. Bow. The archer is a warrior class that effectively targets enemies from a distance and skillfully uses their arrows. They're able to strike enemies with critical blows, of course, and are often fast and agile in battle. Archers are inspired by nature and often form a close bond with animals living in the world. This bond allows the use of animals' companionship and natural abilities in battle. Okay. Okay, so you got a little bit of Beastmaster tamer shit coming in here, kind of a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of, okay. Get them animals on your side. I'm pretty sure you just like have a squirrel that's on your shoulder and it throws an acorn at you that heals you. It's going to be some basic shit like that. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the main of like the bow class. So I'm guessing both subclasses have animals support you one way or another. Pretty interesting. Subclass Hunter. Okay. Hunters are subclasses of the Archer class. They live in harmony with the forces of nature. And when using these forces in battle, they'll draw on the strength of a loyal beast and a loyal force, using their abilities quickly and stealthily. Huh. Live in harmony with forces of nature. They draw on their strength of a loyal beast and a loyal force, using their abilities quickly and stealthily. Quickly and stealthily, huh? So is it like what? Like everybody has the same beast? Do you get to like choose a beast? Is it like your god? Is the beast just like the beast of the forest? Is it like a singular thing that all of them are the same? Like, question. It's quickly and stealthily. Okay, interesting. A lot to dive in there. Subclass Critical Archer. Oh, here we go. Critical archers are a subclass of the archer class, carefully calculating each strike of their arrows. They aim sharply, dealing high damage to their enemies, and making strategic shots. Critical archers have the ability to effective strike enemies from a distance. So I'm guessing this is what we've seen in the trailer of the guy like first person or third person holding the arrow and like kind of aiming it. And I'm guessing you could just like, if you know, you can hit weak spots, headshots, weak points and stuff, and it just does critical or extra damage. Interesting. Both subclasses offer players different playstyles and provide the opportunity to further customize the archer class. Players can choose one of these subclasses or mix and match the skills of both subclasses to suit their preferences and game strategy. Choose one subclass, or you can mix and match the skills. Okay. So I'm guessing you'd probably be able to at some point reset your skills and kind of mix and match whenever you want, which could make it good for like different battles throughout the game. Like when you get to in-game stuff, maybe one skill isn't particularly as good as the other, or certain dungeons and stuff. Maybe one's filled with more AoE and one's like more single target. You could just mix and match them over time and stuff. Oh shit. Okay. Looks like we got another tank class coming up. Sword and shield. The sword and shield class is a class of warriors known for their superior defensive skills in battle. Specializing in melee combat, this class is equipped with strong armor and durable shields, and they use both shields and swords to effectively defend and attack their enemies. So this is kind of making the Lancer class sound more of just like a durable melee, and this is like the straightforward tank kind of. But I guess, yeah, it's kind of making the Lancer sound more of like a durable melee. Subclass Guardian. Oh, I know that's gonna be a hot commodity right there. Just the name strikes fear in the foes of their fucking enemies. Guardian. Guards are a subclass of the sword and shield class. They are the defenders of the battlefield and have the mission of protecting their teammates. The mission, just let that sink in. What a powerful line. They have the mission of protecting their teammates. If your teammates what the fuck what's wrong with me there? If your teammates fall, right, you failed your mission. That's insane. Let that sink in. They are the defenders of the battlefield and have the mission of protecting their teammates. Their mission is not to kill the enemy, not to do the most damage, but to defend their teammates. They are armed with heavy armor and large shields. Sheesh. Paladins over here. Guardians are at the forefront of battle thanks to their high stamina and ability to minimize damage from their enemies. Okay. Sounds pretty fucking dope. Are we gonna see Guardians running around for sure? For sure. Did I say Lancers? I mean Guardians. We're going to see Guardians running around for sure. For sure. Subclass Swordmaster. Swordmasters are the subclass of the sword and shield class and are masters of the sword. They strike swiftly and sharply, dealing high damage to their enemies. Swordsmen have the ability to wield a sword one-handed or two-handed and combine skills and speed in their attacks. The ability to wield a sword one-handed or two-handed. This is like sounds like this is like kind of more of a diverse, like either you can just go all out or you can kind of, do damage but also be kind of tanky if you have a shield in the other hand. Okay, interesting. One-handed or two-handed. I have a feeling this is gonna put the fucking longsword class to shame. And like swordmasters are low key gonna be like fucking OP or some shit. So it kind of sounds like, because they're taking the whole longsword shtick over here already. They could have a shield or they could fucking have two swords. Kind of cool. Both subclasses represent different aspects of the sword and shield class, giving players options to suit their fighting style. Guardians act as the team safeguards and defender, while swordsmen pose a threat to their enemies with fast and deadly attacks. As with any class, this class lends itself to mixed skill transitions and usage. Huh. Okay. So far, the classes, okay. So the classes I think are going to be like a hot commodity. Obviously for reasons like, there's going to be a shit ton of a select group of players that are going to lean towards for whatever reason these classes is 100% the Guardian. Obviously those tank players that like to soak up all the damage and be kind of like big dick Andy's over here and just fucking, you're not getting past me defending their teammates and shit. They're just the tank players. So I mean, the Guardian class is 100% going to be a hot commodity. The life staff class, both healer and magic warden, will probably be pretty hot commodities. Obviously, I think the healer class is going to be even more. Probably going to be a little bit easier, a little bit more basic. And I mean, this is just me 100% speculating, just guessing. But people love to heal. They love to heal and shit. I mean, there's people in the healer category that like to debuff and stuff. They might lean towards the warden, but and the warden still buffs your allies, defenses, strength, and all that. So it's definitely going to be, I feel like, going to be an important class. I feel like the warden is going to be the most sought after class. Like, oh man, we need a warden on our team, but nobody's playing fucking warden. Where are all the wardens? That's what I feel like. But healers, obviously, I feel like it's going to be another hot commodity. And then also the strengthener sounds pretty fucking dope too, but I don't think it's gonna be as hot commodity. Either probably the death blade and just the dual axe in general. Like, people are gonna see that shit and be like, fucking give me dual axes. So yeah, Bloodmaster and Stormblade, those both sound pretty dope. But I think those are gonna be like the biggest hot commodities. The dual axes, the death blades, the life heal, the staff healers, healer staff healers, blah blah blah, and the guardians. Now, the class that interests me the most in terms of me playing, probably man, I mean, I'd have to see more. I'd have to, like, I have too many questions. I literally could not pick just off of this. It's just not enough info. I have to look and see, kind of like, in comparison, what would be more useful and what would be like, I don't know. There's a lot of research I do before I choosing a class in an MMO. Um, but the Swordmaster, surprisingly to me, is definitely a contender, depending on how strong they actually are. Because if I don't want to do like, I'm all in when it comes to DPS. I don't want to do like, I'm very tanky, but at the same time I do a little bit of that. No, I'm either like glass cannon or fucking Reinhardt in this bitch. So but I don't think I would like to. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of guardians. So yeah, longsword is up there, and fire mage probably not death. Man, I don't know. I would have to see more. I'd have to, like, it's just not enough. Just not enough. But if I had to just pick off a whim right now, I'd probably end up just going in as a fire mage and kind of seeing how that goes, just blowing shit up. I feel like typically, for the most part, mages are very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not safe, but I mean, they're typically glass cannony, right? I like glass cannon. You could typically progress pretty quickly through games as a mage class, just because the high damage, you'll be able to fucking blow up mobs and get shit done quickly. As long as you're, if you struggle on like the single player instances where shit can literally just run at you and beat your ass since you're squishy. As long as there's not too much of that, you could usually progress pretty quickly. But yeah, that's just my thought process of it. Let's see how their skills work. Quinfall game weapon mastery system and special abilities. check this. Okay. Quinfall is a game that offers a unique experience in the gaming world, introducing the weapon mastery system instead of the traditional class system. Weapon mastery. Is that telling me what I think it's telling me? Can you switch classes and weapons and shit in between, like, for your character? Kind of like the Final Fantasy 14 system. That's what it kind of sounds like. This system provides players with a personalized experience, enhances diversity by dividing each weapon into 2 distinct skill trees. Here's more information about Quinfall's unique system. Weapon mastery system. In contrast to traditional class systems, Quinfall adopts the weapon mastery system, allowing players to wield any weapon. As players become more skilled with a particular weapon, they gain the ability to use abilities more effectively. That's great. To use its abilities. This grants players great flexibility and the opportunity to experiment with different playstyles within the game. Okay, so kind of don't have to just like settle for one shit. Kind of see what's badass and then whatever feels good for you. Or you level them all up. Skill trees. Each weapon is divided into 2 unique skill trees. These skill trees offer various advantages to players. For example, a sword provides players with the option to choose between 2 different skill trees, and this choice can vary depending on the player preferred playstyle. This aspect is a crucial element for strategy and teamwork in the game. I feel like, man, the more I read, the more skeptical I get about this shit. It sounds fucking badass, but I just don't. The MMO genre, we've just been beaten and battered far too long in our lives. And now we have no hope in the world. We have no hope. We're gonna die before we get the next generation of WoW and Final Fantasy 14. It's just gonna happen. Very morbid, but it is what it is. Special abilities in Quinfall. Every weapon comes with its own set of special abilities and effects. As players master their weapons, they can use these abilities more effectively. This requires a deep understanding of the game and allows players to improve their skills in using their weapons effectively. Okay. Season and time effects. Quinfall's dynamic game world is enriched by the changing seasons and specific times of day. During these periods, players can gain various buffs, positive effects, and debuffs, negative effects. For example, some weapons may become more effective at night, while others may inflict freezing effects when it's snowing. These effects can alter the game's strategy and tactics significantly. That's kind of cool, I guess. I wonder if like weapons have multiple like buffs and negativity. So like you could have like an elemental sword where it's like super sunny and freezing, it becomes a fire sword and an ice sword, and then when it's like nighttime and fucking raining, it's just like nerfed to the ground. It becomes a mud sword and a fucking some weak ass shadow sword or something. I'm fucking goes through enemies. These effects, the Quinfall game with its weapon mastery system and special abilities offer an exciting experience for players. As players discover the unique features of each weapon, they have the opportunity to develop their strategy and teamwork skills. The seasonal and time effects further deepen the game's dynamic nature. Each player can embark on unique journeys in the world of Quinfall by selecting and mastering weapons that suit their individual playstyle. What is this shit right here? Oh, we could actually look at the skills. Oh, damn! The plot thickens. It gets deeper. Okay.